It's still the arena. Now it's time for the round leather game, talking about the world of football, and we'll start with the Club World Cup, where Chelsea are into the final courtesy of Romelu Lukaku's strike. But I'm not doing this alone. As I said earlier, I've got Akim Olarinwaju with me in the studio to help me talk about all of these sporting issues that we have today. Akim, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Samson. Thank you. Thank you.
Chelsea, it was a difficult game. 1-0 it ended. Romelu Lukaku stepped in. It wasn't kind of performance you would expect from Chelsea in terms of dominance, but they made it count. That's what, you know, is more important.
Well, I could say, let me say congratulations to Chelsea and to Lukaku. And even though there have been lots of expectation actually from him, coupled with the large amount of money spent on him to bring him down to Stamford Bridge.
And the controversy.
But notwithstanding, he has actually performed at the time that the fans actually needed him. And I say congratulations to them.
Well, let's look at the match, because we had our own, you know, Odion Igalo play as well in the match. He just moved to the club, you know, barely 5 days or 6 days ago. The match itself, it was more difficult and more cagey than we expected. Edward Mendy had returned to the Chelsea camp quite all right, but he didn't play. It was Kepa who kept for, you know, in goal for Chelsea. What went wrong, or what made it difficult for Chelsea in the match itself?
Oh, I think coupled with the kind of schedule that the English Premiership had, and I believe is a kind of a long journey down to Abu Dhabi. So those things are also, will definitely play out. They just played their FA Cup with a low-rated Plymouth.
Went into
if you look at that
too.
particular match, also they struggled in that particular game. So with that, I so much believe that it can be as a result of stress and all of maybe technical issue, and likewise also their coach was not actually on stand. It was in the isolating room, so that can actually affect the performance and the psyche of the players in the team.
Okay, talking about Chelsea and the Club World Cup, which is ongoing. Remember, African representatives, Egyptian champions and CAF champions, talking about Al Ahly, they couldn't make it past the semi-final as they lost by 2-0 to Palmeiras. So it's Chelsea against the Brazilian side Palmeiras, who will be playing in the final. Let's see how that pans out. It's yet to be seen if Edward Mendy will still be given some time to rest, recover from his heroics at the African Cup of Nations, which he won with Senegal, or he'll be in goal for the final. As I said, he linked up with Chelsea yesterday, but it was Kepa Arrizabalaga who was favoured to start in goal. So Chelsea, good news for the Blues, as they are called. They're into the finals of the Club World Cup. Let's see if they can back that up along with the Champions League, which they won last May. Now let's move on from there to the Premier League, talking about domestic leagues and the Premier League matches. Some Premier League matches, I beg your pardon, took place yesterday. Leaders and defending champions Manchester City won by 2-0 against Brentford. Not the scoreline you would expect, and it must be said that the scoreline also then reflects, you know, the status of the game, because it was a cagey one. But regardless of how they achieved it, they're 12 points clear, with Liverpool having 2 games at hand. Is it done and dusted, or you think Liverpool can still mount a late challenge?
Well, one thing about English Premiership is that there are always surprises towards the end of the season. So we can't boldly give it to Man City at this present time. Even though the Man City also, there was a particular season they actually won the league with just one point, a point difference. So I believe so much there's still a lot to actually get in the remaining matches of this season, but let's see how it goes before the end of the season. Okay,
yesterday's match was quite difficult for them. It had to take Riyad Mahrez's penalty as well as a Kevin De Bruyne strike, which was from the goalkeeper's error to get the 2-0 victory, and that was at the Etihad Stadium. Is fatigue gradually setting into City? Because matches like this, it's always a blowout score, 5-6-0 wins, but it's just 2-0 win this time around.
But you will understand with me that even the lower team now, they as well want to remain at the Premiership, and they know that the higher the number of your wins and the point you are able to gather, it will depend on whether you are going to stay in the Premiership or you are going to go. And also Brentford, also they have a very good youth team generally, and they've been even though they've not been so spectacular this particular season, but at least they've been able to get some certain points that can that I believe that it can make them to remain in the Premier League next season. So let's see how the season goes, but there's still a lot of things that will happen before the end of the season.
Okay. Talking about Brentford, remember they've pulled off some surprising wins this season as well, and they're currently punching above their weight. So they should stay at the end of the season in the Premier League, talking about retaining their Premier League status. A matter that is a bit controversial, and it's begging the question, is it really about, you know, animal care, or is it, does it have a racist undertone to it, talking about the controversy of Zouma and his treatment of his pets, the 2 cats in that particular video. We can't show you because some of those images or the clip itself is deemed offensive, but you had Zouma, the West Ham defender, kicking his cats, slapping another one, throwing, you know, footwear and objects at the cats, even as the cat was scurrying for safety, amongst other things. And the latest in the scandal that has erupted over the last 2 days is that sportswear giant Adidas have terminated their contract with Zouma following the saga or the animal abuse, you know, incidents that happened. You also have his club West Ham United fining him to the tune of £250,000, and the club has said that the money will be donated to animal welfare charities. Connected fitness specialist Peloton has confirmed co-founder John Foley is set to leave the company as part of a wide-ranging restructure that will see 2,800 job cuts as it adapts to lower demands in a post-lockdown world. Peloton manufactures high-end exercise bikes and treadmills, and it's supported by a highly integrated subscription service that includes social features and live instruction classes. Interest in its product increased significantly during the pandemic, with gyms closed and fitness classes suspended. However, the easing of lockdown restrictions has seen orders decline and Peloton's market value fall from $50 billion to around $8 billion over the past year. This has made the company an attractive target to suitors, with Amazon, Apple, and Nike all linked with a takeover and intensified investor discontent. In a bid to cut costs by up to $800 million and lay a foundation for long-term sustainable growth, Peloton says it will reduce its manufacturing footprint, outsource more of its delivery and distribution, and reduce its workforce. Of the 2,800 jobs at risk, around a fifth of that will be at corporate level. Foley will remain as executive chair while being replaced by former Spotify chief financial officer Barry McCarthy. And still talking sports business, Red Bull has signed a huge $695 million sponsorship deal, which will see its team name change for the new Formula One season. The 5-year deal signed with Oracle means the team will be known as Oracle Red Bull Racing. According to the reigning Formula One champions, using the Oracle cloud infrastructure increased the number of strategy simulations run by 1,000 times and improved accuracy by 10 times. The agreement with the US tech giant is one of the most lucrative in global sports, and Red Bull chief Christian Horner believes it comes at an ideal time because of the new season cost cap of $201 million for Formula One teams. And finally, in terms of sports business at this time, Tonal, known for its $2,995 at-home gym, is using a Super Bowl ad to make a point to women that they can use strength training equipment just like men. A new campaign starring tennis champion Serena Williams, who is also an early investor at Tonal, aims to debunk the idea that women will get very muscular if they lift heavy weights. The 30-second Super Bowl spot, which is Tonal's first to air during the big game, shows Williams working out with Tonal's equipment while she says in a voiceover, "Never be afraid of your strength because your body is capable of amazing things." The Super Bowl commercial is part of Tonal's Strength Made Me campaign, which celebrates women being strong, both physically and mentally, the company said. Tonal's campaign will use digital spots over the coming months, and it features other female professional athletes such as Lindsey Horan and Simon Manuel. NBC has been charging as much as $6.5 million for 30-second ad spots for this year's NFL Championship game, which takes place on Sunday. By snagging a Super Bowl spot, Tonal is also focused on driving potential buyers to one of its brick-and-mortar locations where they can have a chance to try its wall-mounted machine in person. Tonal has raised about $450 million to date.